abusia mi che na msan so mo akwa baso ko so me channel so hada so ye be media GH abusia eye buffer stock scandal yes abusia eyade a former CEO of buffer stock abusia charges a yede abo papai abusia aduru makoma ko 24 additional 24 charges na abusia yes yede abo papai na yere nso yes ya bonus 6 charges na abusia we dem am kasa pase akone kutin nsam no mu nkire mu ene sika sisi omode abono of a year 9.8 million Ghana cedis eno so ye de sika abusia yenkoni koteni na emra sisi hada so ebe media GH abusia se ene de konetwa channel so a ye best so be like na wabo aso ahema for person no be etino nya be etino abusia wutie ensem ya omo eken je se ba former CEO of a buffer stock abusia sa enya ononko a na che se sika twetwe die ya abusia owi aye no enya ononko a na ewi aye na ye se one enkofo dombi anase enkofo bi eka no ho a abusia allegedly omo 20 sika no yenko ne entie ensem no mu ankasa enkyire mu na sebi na so wadun chebe abode na ya kire ya hada so ba media GH wona so be subscribe be like na wa bo anso ahia for person no be etino nya yentie ensem no enkyire mu na sesia
matters relating to the court and the Office of the Attorney General and the Minister for Justice, because he has filed a total of 24 charges against embattled former Chief Executive Officer of the National Food and Buffer Stock Company, NAFCO, Hanan Abdul Wahab, his wife, Faiza Said-Wuni, and 3 others, with a litany of offences including stealing, conspiracy to steal, willfully causing financial loss to the state, using public office for profit, and money laundering. Let's take a closer look at the details of the charge sheet. And we'll do that for you right now in relation to what these charges are. 24 in totality. 5 individuals we know are being charged with counts which include stealing, conspiracy, money laundering, using public office for profit, amongst many other things. And so we'll try and walk you through it on this dashboard right away. And so, like I mentioned, the counts 24, the total accused persons or entities 5, because we know there are some listed companies as well in this. And then the most frequent offense being money laundering, in terms of what the Attorney General revealed as details of what it is that investigations have uncovered, amongst many other things. And so let's start with the CEO, the former CEO of the Buffer Stock Company Limited. He's the main accused in this. He's implicated in 20 out of the 24 counts, and the key charges, amongst many other things, include stealing, 4 counts of stealing, fraudulently causing financial loss to the state, 4 counts as well. Money laundering, we see 6 of it. Defrauding by false pretenses, 2 counts. A conspiracy to commit fraud or money laundering, 2 counts. And then using public office for profit, 4 counts. Faiza Said-Wuni is the wife of Mr. Wahab. She is suffering 6 counts of money laundering with Hanan and others, and 2 counts of defrauding by false pretenses amounting to some 9.8 million cedis with Hanan, and then 1 count of dishonestly receiving amounting to some 4.4 million cedis. Again, we know of 1 other individual who is not here, but these are the 2 main suspects in terms of, or the 2 main individuals who are expected to be put before court. Their plea will be taken, amongst many other things, and then upon their plea, we will know whether or not the trial will proceed. But if there's anything to go by, we know that this man issued a statement where he, amongst many other things, on the back of that press conference by the Attorney General, denied flatly any or such allegations have been made against him by the Office of the Attorney General. And so this is what we know in terms of the counts, but there will be a lot more in terms of what it is that is expected in the aftermath of everything that's expected to happen in relation to this particular case. And we know as well that we're yet to get details as to when the case will be called in court, but most certainly something that we'll continue to keep our eyes on and bring you details of. But let's move away from that and take you to Parliament right now, because
in recent months appreciating sharply against major trading currencies amid improved market sentiment and steady central bank interventions. The development comes as the Bank of Ghana's governor, Dr. Johnson Esiama, says Ghana has turned a decisive economic corner, citing renewed confidence in the local currency as the country marks 60 years of the city's resilience.
Nana Genopokwajman described the city as a symbol of Ghana's economic sovereignty and resilience. She emphasized that while the currency has shown strong recovery in recent weeks, sustaining that progress will depend on prudent spending, disciplined fiscal management, and deeper collaboration across the financial sector.
We have learned painful lessons from fiscal indiscipline, over-borrowing, and ignoring tried principles. But today, the city has not only recovered, it has soared. We must now protect what we have rebuilt through action from government, institutions, and citizens.
Dr. Johnson Esiama highlighted the city's recent gains as evidence of a turning point in Ghana's economic recovery.
The city has appreciated by 37% as at October 17. And according to the World Bank, it is the best performing currency in sub-Saharan Africa for the first 8 months of 2025.
Finance Minister Dr. Cries Out Loud also urged businesses to stop pricing goods and services in US dollars, warning that the practice undermines national monetary stability and contravenes existing laws.
As managers of the economy, we have remained steadfast in our duty to ensure a strong city and a very stable currency. Our commitment to fiscal discipline has contributed to the strengthening of the Ghana city.
Well, the Finance Minister, Dr. Forsing, also cautioned businesses and the public against trading or pricing goods and services in foreign currencies, particularly the US dollar. Speaking at the official launch of the CD at 60 celebration, Dr. Forsing noted the practice contributes to the country's economic challenges, hence must be stopped immediately.
In Ghana, it's become increasingly common to see prices quoted in US dollars, from real estate and car sales to hotel bookings and even some luxury goods. For many, it's seen as a way to guard against the cedi's fluctuations, but the practice has quietly taken root across key sectors of the economy, raising concerns about its impact on confidence in the local currency. Finance Minister Dr. Forsing is calling for an end to the practice and rally behind the cedi.
We must be eschewing the act that seeks to undermine the value of the currency, particularly the pricing of goods and services in foreign currency, the US dollar. As Ghanaians, the Ghana cedi remains the only legal tender. The US dollar is not our currency. The continuous pricing of goods and services in US dollars will only hurt us. Let's stop it, and let us stop it now.
Speaking at the official launch of the CD at 60 celebration, Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Johnson Esiama, acknowledged the success of the city and warned against complacency.
Ghana has turned a decisive corner. And indeed, the evidence is compelling. Headline inflation is now at 9.4%, and we expect it to end the year even far lower. The city has appreciated by 37% as at October 17. And according to the World Bank, it is the best performing currency in sub-Saharan Africa. We are not yet where we want to be, Excellencies, but we are no longer where we were.
For her part, Vice President Professor Jainan Opokwajima noted that the city's steady recovery is restoring confidence in the market, stressing the need to safeguard these gains through fiscal discipline and responsible governance.
The city has not only recovered, it has soared. The trust in the city will not sustain itself. Government must lead by example and commit to real fiscal discipline. No more reckless borrowing. We must anchor public finances in realistic revenue plans, efficient spending, and long-term planning. Today, too many goods and services are still quoted in foreign currencies. But if you earn in cedis, you must be able to transact in cedis.
Let's take you now to Parliament, because the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Gbagben, has assured that he will get the anti-LGBTQ bill reintroduced, properly passed and signed into law for implementation. He told lawmakers on Tuesday that the old bill passed by the 8th Parliament expired and cannot be regarded as passed for assent by the current president.
The first day Parliament resumed, the new anti-LGBTQ bill was advertised to be late, but it was missing from the order paper in the subsequent days. This caused the minority to accuse government of attempt to avoid passing it, all in the absence of the Speaker. The majority leader says he had wanted the old bill to be regarded as passed. Regardless, his part is ready for a new one.
I thought the fastest way is to treat the bill as having been passed. But if you want us to start all over again, I want to assure you that this side of our house is ready to start all over again. Officials appointed by the NPP, sitting at the presidency, wrote a letter threatening this parliament not to bring the bill there. And today, you are sitting here and pretending and behaving.
The minority leader had his bite.
We wait patiently for that day. But, Mr. Speaker, our friends must know that sometimes when they place a rat poison on another man's tongue, it will not take too long for they themselves to taste that rat poison. We are patiently waiting for this LGBT bill.
Speaker Gbagben ruled and explained the procedure in getting the new bill introduced and passed.
The 8th Parliament is history. So are all the businesses that were pending in the 8th Parliament. And so we have a new Parliament, the 9th Parliament. And therefore what was pending there came to an end and had to be reintroduced. Hold your peace, it will come sooner than later. Civil society is getting restless again, but I want to assure them that they know my passion in this matter, and I want to get it properly passed so that implementation becomes easier. There are a few things that our attention has been drawn to, which we'll work on together here, so that when we pass the bill, it's a bill that is accepted by all.
Other members from both sides of the House contributed to the debate.
I take solace in the assurance of the majority leader that we stand in readiness to support the process of enacting a law that will make the practice intolerable and unacceptable in this House. If they have changed their position, I would have wished that they would do so with their former president. But even if they are unable to, we welcome them on board, because this is a cause for Ghana.
What the Ghanaian people want is to have a law which promotes good sexual conduct in Ghana and which prevents LGBTQ. Don't go and change the 8th Parliament bill. Don't go and water it down. Don't go and revise it and bring it to the 9th Parliament and have the president assent to it, assent to a bill which is not fit for purpose. We want the 8th Parliament bill for the 9th Parliament to consider. Verbatim, don't change it.
The reintroduced anti-LGBTQ bill has a bipartisan support, one that has been commended. With the pathway to passing it now clear, many await its eventual laying before the House. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Parliament.
Now, the National Service Authority has released the first batch of postings for the 2025-26 service year, deploying about 85,150 graduates to public and private institutions. The authority says this number excludes teachers, nurses, midwives, and personnel with data mismatches whose placements will be released later. Now, posted personnel are required to check their placements online, print and endorse the appointment letters, book online registration, and report for original validation between October 29 and November 21 with their Ghana card. The authority is cautioning graduates not to pay middlemen for changes in postings and say the service officially begins on Monday, November 3. Moving on, Kumasi High Court has dismissed an application by Akroma Sewa to hold the funeral rites of high life legend Daddy Lumba. The court affirmed that the authority over his mortal remains rests with his extended family, not his immediate wife, per the Asante tradition.
The legal tussle which has captivated the nation reached its critical juncture as the courts refused to grant an injunction that would have prevented the legendary musician's wider family from taking his body from the morgue and proceeding with the final funeral rites. The ruling was on cultural principle. The court, presided over by Justice Dorinda Smith-Arthur, emphasized that in the Asante tradition, once a person dies, the body returns to its matrilineal roots, and how the funeral is conducted is the responsibility of the extended family. This means the responsibility for the funeral does not lie solely with the immediate family or the spouse, but with the broader clan, locally referred to as the Busuya. The case was brought to court by Akroma Sewa, who has been at the center of public dispute over her legal status as Daddy Lumba's wife.
The main reason for the ruling is that he believes that it will not be fair to restrain the family at this time. He will hear the matter and give judgment on 25th of November.
Our objective first is to ensure that any impediment such as this injunction will be denied by the court for the proper burial to proceed. After that, we'll look at other aspects of the case. What the judge read sounded very much like someone who appreciated both arguments, saw the superior argument from our side, from Baba Jamal and associates, and sided with our position.
With the injunction dismissed, the legal focus now shifts to the core of the dispute, which is declaring who among the two is the main surviving spouse. The court has ordered all parties to file all necessary legal processes by Friday, October 31, for a case management conference scheduled for November 14. This will set the stage for the main hearing, which is slated to begin on November 17. The court expects the hearing to be completed by November 21, with a final judgment on the broader case on November 25. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Well, still at the courts, drama unfolded on Tuesday, October 28, during the hearing of the criminal trial of NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Nchiboisiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi. The High Court, presided over by Justice Audrey Kokovite, initially issued a bench warrant for the arrest of Chairman Wontumi after noting that he had failed to show up in court for the trial without providing a reason. Lord Edwasari explains here.
The case was called. The prosecution, led by Chief State Attorney Stella Oheneapia, explained to the court that they were unable to file their disclosures because a witness had traveled outside the jurisdiction without signing his witness statement. After being rebuked by the judge, the prosecution indicated that the documents would be filed by the close of the day. Reacting to the absence of the NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman and his lawyer, Justice Kokuvite issued a bench warrant for his arrest. However, shortly after adjourning proceedings, Chairman Wontumi entered the courtroom in the company of his lawyers, led by Andy Apiakubi. After being briefed on the development, the lawyer filed an application to be heard by the court. Explaining their absence from the proceedings early on, Andy Apiakubi intimated that he was to blame and apologized to the judge. The court then rescinded the bench warrant, but not without a strong warning to the accused. The case has since been adjourned to November 4 for a case management conference. Lawyer for Wontumi, Andy Apiakubi, spoke to the media.
Let us not continue to be divided. It is only part of the process of the court that has been spaced. It's not present, but the matter is called one of the issues that will arise whether or not the accused person deliberately refused to present himself. And fortunately, we're able to prove to the judge that he is taken at the court purposes. It is not the case the accused person refusing to appear before the court.
The NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman has pleaded not guilty to charges of assignment of mineral rights without approval and purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operation. Chairman Wontumi is currently on a 15 million Ghana cedi bail with 3 sureties, 2 to be justified. Lord Idwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
To some politics now, the former national chairman of the NPP, Paul Afoko, has formally announced his intention to contest the national chairmanship position of the party's upcoming election of national officers. The announcement made in a press release marks Afoko's return to political frontline after years of remaining largely under the radar following a highly controversial suspension. Afoko was initially elected NPP national chairman in April 2014, but his tenure was abruptly cut short. In October 2015, the NPP's National Executive Committee indefinitely suspended him over accusations of a unilateral leadership style, subsequently appointing Freddie Blay, the then first vice chairman, as the acting chairman. Paul Afoko contested the move as unconstitutional, with the High Court dismissed his case in mid-2016, ruling that due process had been followed. In his latest statement, Afoko asserted the decision to run was not taken lightly, but came after careful consideration and in response to the consistent calls for renewed leadership in the NPP. The Ghana Standards Authority has closed down 5 manufacturing companies over use of unapproved materials in the manufacturing process. The companies, which were operating at Afienya and Owenya, were producing substandard products like mattresses in large quantities.
The Ghana Standards Authority closed in on the companies after several failed attempts to have the companies stop manufacturing with the unapproved raw materials. Chinese firm FA Home, for instance, used substandard materials to start their mass-produced mattresses. One of the managers, who is a Chinese, was arrested for attacking an enforcement officer of the authority.
This very facility has been temporarily closed down by the Ghana Standards Authority. Until they put things in right order, activities would never take place here.
Residents tell me they fear for their